Welcome to Mindful Mostly. I'm Andrea Collins, and I'm pretty into mindful living. I mean, mostly. I strive to live my healthiest, most mindfully motivated life, but I'm not perfect at it. For instance, today, I was walking to work, I was listening to some inspirational music and feeling the sun on my face, and then I was pulled out of that moment because I saw this t-shirt in a store window, and it was the Friends logo, but it said fries. And I wanted it so bad. That's so basic. Every week on this show, we give you words of wisdom. That's your soul nugget shout out. A talk with an expert where they give you the goods, and a weekly challenge. Your mindful mostly mission, all wrapped up in one nice little podcast package that can transform your life. It's on Mondays. It's mindful mostly, manifesting, motivation, mindfulness. It's like the Kim, Chloe, Courtney, Kylie, Kardashian of the podcasting world, but hopefully with a little bit more substance. By the way, if you're digging the show, subscribe to the podcast and let me know what you think by leaving a review on iTunes. On the show today, Bethany Love, aka the Prosperity Girl, is here. She is going to tell us how to get in a prosperous mindset. You got to be mindful of the ways you're thinking about prosperity in order to enjoy it. And she is going to help us do just that. Also, it will help you bring more prosperity into your life. So make sure you stick around. But first, it's the Soul Nugget shout out. This one goes out to at Hooligan Consulting on Instagram, who says, remember why you started. Yes. It's like once we all get in the soup, we often forget why we wanted to pursue something in the first place. So remember why you started. And this one from last week's guest, Robin Euclid, the author of Thin from Within, which if you haven't listened to that episode yet, check it out. She says, pros and cons of making food. Pros, food. Cons, making. Bethany Love is here, aka the Prosperity Girl. I love what you're doing. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
You're all about sort of creating that mindset that's going to get you to prosper more. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's kind of true that if you have and it's a lot to do with, a lot similar to law of attraction, whereas if you say, I'm never going to make any money and I'm never going to have own a home or whatever, then chances are you won't, because it's a defeating mindset. So in your case, you say we need to practice in order to have this prosperity mindset.
Yeah, we do. None of us are really born with a empowering mindset around money. I mean, I don't know about you. I wasn't. It's something I had to kind of set out and learn. Even when I see my family now, they're stuck in their like mindsets around money, and just the general consensus of what I would say most of the population is living from is kind of a lack mindset.
There's certain people that it's just, let's say their parents were entrepreneurs or it runs in their family, where it's just, it's the way it is. So it's got to work out, right? And it does.
Yeah, it's like living in that possibility. It's living in that getting out of your comfort zone and taking the steps, even though you're afraid. It's like conquering those mindsets that keep you back, that keep you stuck, that keep you small, or keep you in a job that just you're getting by, you're paying the bills, things are okay, but you're not really that satisfied, or you don't feel like you're living your purpose in life. Like, I believe that we can live our purpose and be prosperous and have everything we desire. And maybe, that might not be like a yacht. That could be just, being really comfortable and having a house and whatever you need, really.
Mm-hmm. Having a roof over your head and people you love, and it's not a struggle, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like Mariah Carey's lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that there's so much to be said. Like, so many of us suffer from a limiting mindset where it's like, I can't do that, or like, I'm going to do this thing, but is it going to turn into X, Y? Probably not. That's just unbelievable. Where it's that mindset that holds us back.
Yeah, and I think that the way to start, it's like you don't have to create this $100 million dream. You could really just start with a small up leveling of your life. Like, that's what I love to teach, is just take those, yes, dream big, but also just start where you're at. And why don't you just try up leveling from where you're at right now into like a little bit bigger of mindset for yourself, a little bit more prosperity, a little bit of extra income, or maybe you didn't think you could go to that concert, but just put it out there. If you really want to go, like maybe you'll win some tickets, or, I've had stuff like that happen for me, for sure. I have so many stories, just miracles and cool money, like stories showing up, like just random things showing up for me, but I put it out that I wanted it and I wasn't afraid of that.
Do you have it? Can you think of any of those stories off the top of your head?
Yeah. I was living in Santa Barbara and I wanted to go to this concert at the Santa Barbara Bowl. I forget who it was. It was like Hosier or something. And I just, I was like, I'm going to go. And at the time, like my friend didn't want to go with me. And I was like, I'll just go. I don't know. Maybe there's like a scalper in front that will sell me like a ticket for $20 or something. And at the time, I don't think I was like making a lot of money. And so I didn't have a lot of extra money to spend. And I remember I just walked up and I was looking for someone to buy a ticket from. Because, in front of venues like that, there's always someone selling a ticket, like last minute. Somebody, do you want a free ticket? I have an extra ticket. And I was like, yeah, thanks. So I went to the front row.
No way.
Like the universe, I've discovered through many, many, many things, the universe wants you to have whatever you want. And you're your only limitation. Like the only limits are in your mind. And you tell yourself stories that really do hold you back. And so what would happen if we just took away those stories and told ourselves new ones that empowered us?
So what could you tell us today about creating that mindset that puts us in the place to accept all of these wonderful things?
I have 4 morning routines that I call my money mindset morning routines. And the first one I would say is I create an environment that makes me feel really prosperous. So I light a candle. I put on like Kundalini yoga music. I love Kundalini yoga music. That's part of my background. I'm a Kundalini teacher. I use essential oils. I just create an environment that I really feel good in, and just sets me up to feel like I feel prosperous. Do you know what I mean? So I start with that. I think your environment's really important. And to anyone listening, like you could just even light a candle. Just do that little thing that makes you feel a little bit extra. I think music is really important too. It can totally change your mood. I do that. And then the second thing I recommend is meditation and visualization, which I'm sure you hear everywhere, but it really works. That's why we talk about it so much.
Yeah.
Even if it's just 5 minutes, like if I'm in a hurry and I've got a ton of things to do in the day and I know that I don't have a lot of time to do my meditation, I set a timer for 5 minutes, close my eyes, do the meditation, and then I set another timer when that goes off for 3 minutes to visualize. And I visualize, things flowing throughout my day, or the things I'm creating, like even financially, I visualize that happening, and I feel the feelings in my body of what that would feel like. And, just 3 minutes of that, it's like you can really set up some great momentum in your mindset for the day.
Yeah, they say actually feeling it and putting yourself in that situation in your mind, even if you have to act some of it out loud. I know that I do that sometimes when I'm alone. But they say that all like increases the frequency of your vibes,
Yeah. You get that momentum and your vibration going, and like And obviously it can go the other way too. And that's when you want to like neutralize and you just want to like think general thoughts of gratitude or just like, oh wow, the sun is shining today, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you have that negative momentum going. So, but that's a way to set up your positive momentum. I also, right after I do that, I take out my journal and I set another timer for 5 minutes. And I write out my desires as if they're already happening. They've already come true. And I just write them out like, that was so amazing that this happened and this happened. And oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for this and this. And, you know, you get in that gratitude of it already happening.
Oh, that's a good idea. Now, do you find that you're writing the same things every day? And are your mindsets basically based on what's going to happen that day or that week, or is it just everything?
For me, what I do is my big goals. So I write them, my big goals, as if they've already happened. So if I'm manifesting a certain number of clients or or a certain amount of money, or, you know, I'm single right now, so I'm manifesting a boyfriend and I'm like, wow, I'm so grateful for my amazing boyfriend, you know. So, and I just feel the feelings of having it and it's already done and it feels so good. And I really just focus on that. But yeah, like even if there's something throughout the day, you know, if you have like a appointment like that went so well and it was so great and this happened and you know just anything that you're manifesting, really.
I love the timer because it makes it a little bit more focused. Like, you know that you're not just going in blindly. You know that the timer has started, and so you actually have to really focus on doing it and being efficient about it rather than letting your mind wander. And then going, boom, right into the journaling while your mind is still in that place. And I think that's such good advice because it's like when you turn on a YouTube workout video. You know that it's 20 minutes long, and by the time you're done, that you've done that part of exercise for your day. This is just the manifesting prosperity vibe mindset.
Exactly. It's so true. Yeah. And it really brings you into the present moment. You're like not thinking about all the distractions. You're like, I've got 5 minutes. Like, let's do this, you know?
Yeah.
So, and you know, you can pick your own times. I'm just saying, like, if you're pressed for time ever, just 5 minutes of meditation, 5 minutes of journaling out your desires, that does the trick. I mean, you're doing the work. Those are my favorite ones. And then the last thing I would say is create a monthly money goal. Whether you're an entrepreneur or you have a regular job and maybe you have a side hustle or something, like create a monthly money goal and focus on it and then track that goal. So daily tracking it and just checking in, like, where am I at with this? You know, getting real with yourself and not letting the hows bog you down, but really ask yourself, like, how can I serve? And letting the universe give you that inspired action, that inspired download of how you can serve and like what actually inspires you to serve to create that money goal. It's connected, you know? And sometimes it's going for a walk or something, you know what I mean? So, and you meet somebody on that walk and they're your perfect client or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So then you should have a dollar figure in your head. Like, I want to earn an extra $1,000 this month, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. But then every day kind of keep checks on it. Okay, I got $100 today. Okay. And like that.
Yeah. And really, while you're doing that, you want to stay in gratitude. You want to be like, every time you think of that, like, thank you so much that this is happening. You know, thank you and not worry about it. Because oftentimes we go to like worry, you know, when we get into those numbers, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's getting your mindset into gratitude and seeing it happen and it's possible, but not worrying about the hows as much. Do you know what it's kind of an interesting place. You know, you got to let go of the hows and let that inspiration come to you. And, you know, when it does come to you, take the actions and step out of your comfort zone and don't let fear hold you back, because you're never going to be in a place where the fear is totally gone. Like, you still have to move ahead with fear, you know, and the fear will step aside as you move ahead.
how much do you find is manifesting and how much do you find is just going for it? And do you think they go hand in hand?
Oh, wow. Okay. I would say it's 50-50. And I do think they go hand in hand for sure. Because if you're just doing the hustling and the action part and you don't have that energy and that belief behind you and that momentum of like gratitude and things are going right, everything's working out for me, you know, that kind of like manifesting energy, I think you can get stuck in that like struggle mindset. You know, if you're just sitting on your couch meditating all day.
Yeah.
You know, that also is a thing too. And I think that they go hand in hand. You just need both. And you'll get the inspiration when you're meditating or when you're doing your goal setting or you're writing. You're going to get downloads. Like the universe wants to help you. And also, no thought lives in your head rent free. You're either paying for your negative thoughts or your positive thoughts. So remember that if you're having a negative thought, you can just shift it. You can cancel and delete that thought and shift into an empowering thought, one that's serving your goal, one that's serving the thing you're manifesting. And just shift right there. It just takes 1 second.
And I think that those shifts do take practice. Like if you've been thinking negative for a really long time, it's hard to just shift overnight. That's why I think the gratitude journaling is so important as just even a tool. Like people might be thinking in their heads, I already know what I'm grateful for. But when you do start doing that, it just kind of works out that muscle.
It does. It really does. Yeah. And just keeping in mind, like, okay, this negative thought I'm having right now, this is manifesting something.
That scares the shit out of me. You know what I mean?
Well, don't let it scare you. Just be aware and like shift, you know?
Yeah.
It gives you power to choose. So that's the biggest part, is just knowing that you have that power and you can shift any moment.
I like to remind myself too that positive people are so much better to be around. Like that as well. You know, it's like if you're just I found like there was a while probably about 6 months ago where I was just really overwhelmed with things and I was complaining a lot. And people would be like, how are you? And I'd be like, this is like, I'm good, but this. And one day I just had to say to myself, you got to cut that shit out because nobody wants to hear that. It doesn't make you that magnetic to be around. And it doesn't exactly attract the good feelings. So, you know.
Yeah, so true. Well, it's good you caught yourself. And we've all been there. I've been there. I was there like 2 weeks ago. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. And the thing is like, when you are in gratitude and when you are being positive and you are in that momentum of, you know, the empowering thoughts, you're such a magnet for everything that you want. And people will show up out of nowhere to, you know, help you, or just little things will happen. You're a magnet to your desires.
I absolutely love some of the quotes on your Instagram that have to do with that. And I'm looking at some right now. Whatever you want to see in the world, be that today. Be that vibe. Radiate that.
Yes. Exactly.
Honestly, anytime I need to pick me up, I go to your Instagram, which is at the Prosperity Girl, by the way. This one, just loved. And I honestly want to print this and like put it on the fridge. Network, get up early, stay focused, watch less TV, read more books. Oh my God, I try, but avoid time wasters, invest in your health, take calculated risk, write down your goals, work smarter, not harder, like that. Do something you believe in and foster meaningful relationships. Wow.
Yep. Yeah, and I think manifesting is working smarter, not harder. When you that manifesting energy behind the action, boom, you're going to get magical results. Like the universe shows up when you show up. I really believe that.
Incredible. Well, it's amazing the work you're doing now. You also, like, you work with people to coach them into this mindset. Is that right?
I work with entrepreneurs. I work with, you know, startups. I work with anybody trying to do something good in the world.
So if you want to make prosperity your new normal, you can hit up Bethany. What's your contact info?
You can go to my website, prosperitygirl.com. You can also go to my Instagram, and all the info is there as well, the Prosperity Girl. And yeah, I have a morning routine
little guidebook that I created with 12 morning routines that will help put you in a prosperous state. And I also have a money mindset challenge that you can be a part of. So you can check those out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you gave us like 4 or 5 of those morning money mindset pieces. So you've got a whole bunch more. Those were really good ones, by the way, I have to say. Thank you so much for coming on the show, girl. We're just going to be surrounded by piles of money next time we talk to you. Right?
That's right. Thank you for having me.
Okay, grab your stopwatch, i.e. your timer on your smartphone, and let's do that challenge that Bethany, aka the Prosperity Girl, was just telling us about. So you first meditate for 5 minutes. When that time is up, you visualize for 3 minutes, really feel it. And once you're done that, set the timer for another 5 and journal out your desires. Boom, 13 minutes? Done. I guarantee you if you start doing that and you really make sure you do it every day or every other day, let's say if you can't do it every day, you will see a shift in your life. I can almost guarantee that because that's something that I've been trying. I haven't been doing this timer technique though. It's a really good idea. And I can say that I've seen a major shift in my life for sure. Hey, I want to say a big congrats to Andy Neufeld. She is the winner of the Thin From Within book giveaway this past week. Props to you, girl, sending that book your way. And we're going to have so many of those book giveaways coming up. So in the meantime, so you don't miss anything, join the community at Mindful Mostly. Talk to you next time.